Good day and welcome back to Elementary 72 Gaming. Now I am back with another Tower of God video. And this time I'm actually going to finish up everything to do with this entire story. Now the story between Rachel and Baum has just started to unfold, and we need to unfold everything that led up to the final betrayal where Baum ends up lost in the wine glass. So here's everything that is being hidden and secret throughout this entire story. Rachel's involvement with Hedon was not known to anybody. It still isn't known to anybody in that team. The only people who know it is Rachel and Han Sang Yu. We find out that in the start exactly what happened with Hedon, the offer he made to Rachel, and then beyond that we also find out about Han Sang Yu. Han Sang Yu is part of the secret organization called F.U.G, otherwise known as FUG. Now, FUG is a anti-jihad in the 10 grade family religious group, as you would put it, because that's what they basically form up to be. And their whole idea is to raise individuals to become this rank of slayer so that they can kill one of the 10 great family heads or jihad. And this is the whole idea. Now, this plays into something that happened far before this part of the story, and that is the climb of the 13 warriors through the tower. From the 13 warriors, there were three who stood out at the top: Aline, V, and Jahad. Between Jahad and V, one of the two would have become the king of the tower, and we know eventually Jahad was. But Aline and V were still willing to keep climbing up the tower. They wanted to reach the top. They wanted to keep going up the tower continuously. However, Jahad had a crush on Aline or Alan, and he decided to go crazy berserk on her when she ran away with V to get married, and they ended up having a child. Now, the child they had in the tower was Baum. We know that it is Baum, it is confirmed. He was born within the tower. But the, the circumstance around him is so weird because when he was a child, when he was a baby, he was murdered. He was murdered right in front of his mother by Jahad. So Jahad killed Bam in front of Aline, and it drove Aline insane. And from what we told, when Aline went insane, it also drove V insane, and V ended up killing himself because Aline kept trying to kill herself, but the 10 great warriors and Aline had made a deal for immortality, while Jahad made a deal for being untouchable by any person who resides within the tower. So his contract is different from their contract for immortality. And we know this here is the basic setup of what happened in that entire fight. Now, when these two factions fought against each other, that's V and Alien against Jahad and the 10 great families, we know that the two ended up losing in the end because of the death of their son. And this had a wave of resultant combat come from it. And this ended up in the formation of FUG, and a whole lot of wars followed it as well, one being called the Age of Genesis. Now, I'm not going to get involved with that topic at the moment. I'm just giving a basics on what FUG is. And this is where FUG's real big intention in this entire story comes through. So we know that this is where FUG really is important to us as we climb the tower. Now, their plan was to capture the irregular and use his power to slay Jahad, because they know it's almost impossible to kill him and also impossible to kill the other 10 family heads. So if they raise a slayer capable of doing it, an irregular, they could win. And they decide to do this here. They decide to team up with Hiron by the looks of it to get what they wanted. They get Balm, and this is how they get Balm. When Balm was pushed off by Rachel, he fell through the bottom of the wine glass, and Hansang Yu, being an enema, used his enema fish to pull Balm away and hide him away in the bowels of the test floor. Now, this here is what causes the regulars to pass the exam, but they don't understand it because lies and trickery are used to get them to go beyond where they were. Now, Rachel is very complacent in this entire situation. She betrays Bam. She is willing to kill Bam so that she can continue climbing up the tower. So she does whatever they say she must do, and they promise to take her up the tower. So she's even more happy with that. And with all of this, we now know where Bam ends up, and this here leads into the start of season two. Bam eventually does pass the floor on the second on the floor of test. Because his test was interfered with by a ranker, he didn't fail the exam. And that's the way that it works. If a ranker interferes, they basically get the allowance to either restart or redo the entire exam. And because this influence was directly against them, they passed the exam. So Baum has actually passed. And being captured by this group, they use a whole lot of threats against him that while they're climbing the tower, if he doesn't comply, they're going to kill one of his friends each time. And if he fails, one of his friends die. So he works really, really hard, becomes unbelievably powerful. Remember, the only thing he cherishes is friendship. He has nothing else. He has no desire for power. He has no desire for beauty, for women, nothing. His only desire is for companionship, for friends, to not be alone. And we end up watching this intense amount of emotion flow through him because he was betrayed by the friend he held most dear. When he finally wakes up at the bottom of the wine glass after it's emptied, wherever Hansang Yu stashed him, the guide Harwin approaches him and she helps him up. And the thing he says is, "Why is my chest burning like this? What is this feeling? Why? Why did she betray me?" That's his reaction to what happened to him. And the next time you're going to catch up with him is in another 5 years from this point. Now, keeping up with the amount of time that flows between each section is unbelievably important to the Tower of God. Each time they jump up a certain number of years, it tells you how long the climb is taking, and it has a significant part to each individual member. Now, the involvement of Han Sang Yu means that Fug was involved. We know that they want him to be their slayer because he is capable of breaking contracts, which I explained in the previous episode about the irregulars group Wahayuk Song. And now we understand why he's so special and why they needed him. So he is capable of breaking contracts because they know Enryu could kill a guardian who is immortal by the laws of the tower. They know that nothing is immortal in the laws of the tower to an irregular. An irregular can break those rules. So they're betting on training him to be their slayer and taking him up the tower. So that is where we stop season one. Season two kicks off in the next bunch of episodes that I will launch. And there's a lot of fun bits of information that I have left out. I haven't explained everything about their team and their makeup. I haven't explained about what Liraro did at the end of this exam. I'm actually intending to explain it in the start of season two because it holds the best amount of impact when it's explained after what happens in season two. Because season two, we don't get to start off with Bam. We introduce to Bam midway through the start of season two, and then as soon as that first little epilogue, like his first test finishes, we introduce to Kun, and we can go through everything that happened in the rest of this floor from the perspective of Kun at that point. And hopefully, when I catch up with the story at that point, it is going to be spectacular. I hope that this does help you. Although things are very confusing, if you read it through the webtoons, there's so much of an explanation. I'd really have to go that far in detail just to give it to you without the confusion. But I can't do that there for a quick summary, and I can't showcase the pages on a channel. It is against copyright law. So I will definitely just give you these still images of characters in the background from now on. And it's going to grow. This one, I only have availability of 4 images. And eventually, I'm going to take it up all the way till there's 40 images for me to go through. So I hope that you all do enjoy. Catch you all in the next one and have a good day.